Hey everybody, here's a blast from the past. It's Geometry Wars Retro Evolved. I'm just gonna play it a couple times, then I'm gonna mark it as beaten. I remember when this game first came out. I mean, it was all I played for a solid week. And you know how I am now, where I can't play anything more than once. Oh. Trying to figure out how. There it is. Right trigger. Ah. Oh, what the heck? I'd be curious to know what your favorite Geometry Wars memory is. This game is, I mean, it's pretty old at this point, right? Was it on? I know it's on, obviously it was on Xbox 360, but I can't remember if there was a version of it on original Xbox as well. No. What are the leaderboards? They're not online leaderboards. Let's do another game. It's amazing to think that Xbox Live Arcade kind of got its start with this. When you consider how big indie games have gotten, and you know, Bizarre Creations was a second-party studio, don't get me wrong, but you know, it started from somewhere. Xbox Live Arcade started with Hexen and... not Hexen, what? It was a hexagonal game, but it's not Hexen, it was not the ID shooter. And Uno, and Geometry Wars, and then indie developers kind of got involved, and now you know, indie games pretty much drive the industry. It's crazy to think about how much they've grown. And you know, I've been a PC gamer since the days of Miraph's Labyrinth and Miraf Solitaire in the early 90s, late 80s. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing with computers since the ColecoVision in 88. You know, I used to get shareware CDs that had viruses on them, of course, because they were never vetted. I bought the first episode of Doom on a diskette from a computer store. And that was my first big IBM PC purchase, but I had an Amiga 500 before then, and I used to mail away for programs, because we had an Amiga store that had Lemmings, and even more Lemmings, and Christmas Lemmings. Well, no, there was also Turrican. There were other games on the Amiga, but you know, it was... when that store shut down, I was kind of limited to doing, like, mail-away forms for getting software for the Amiga, and a lot of it was total crap. But, you know, I have nostalgia even for the disappointing times of gaming. But to get back to my original point, indie games to grow from those early days of, you know, getting them on BBSs and, mailing away for them, to now they get the same coverage as the biggest games in the industry. It's crazy to think about. And really, I would say that Geometry Wars can be thanked, in some extent, for driving people to the platforms that allowed indie games to become so huge. You know, before Braid, there was Geometry Wars, and I would say that without Geometry Wars, bringing people into that ecosystem, Braid probably would not have been as huge a success as it was. Super Meat Boy probably wouldn't have been as huge a success as it was if it wasn't for Braid. All those things. Just happy times. I don't get nostalgic for too much, but this game gets me in that place. And you can tell that, like, not thinking about the game, because I've been mostly talking about the game and not really thinking about what I'm doing, not paying too much attention. It's definitely a game that you're better when you zone out while playing than focusing super hard on. Just relying purely on muscle memory and switches. See, now I'm focusing on it too much rather than just thinking about words. Rats. Oops. What were some other good Xbox Live Arcade games from back in the day? I remember that everyone used to get excited about stuff like Cloning Clyde, Gish, what were some other ones? And I'm not talking about like Shadow Complex and stuff, because that came later. I'm talking like first year. Last Life. Probably not gonna last much longer. Alright, that's it. There's my best score. It's probably nowhere close to the kind of scores I used to be able to get. Alright, that's Geometry Wars Retro Evolved. Maybe you should go play it. I'm sure you still own it on your Xbox 360. Or was it original Xbox? Now I'm getting confused. Look, you have it in some form. Maybe you have Galaxies, or the one on DS. Go play it. There's also Waves on Steam, which is a very similar game. I'm playing the PC version, but it's interesting the time period that this comes from, because it runs in a window, but it's like a 640 by 480 window that is upscaled to whatever resolution, to whatever you scale the window to. Definitely a product of a different era. Thank you for watching, everybody.